Robert Eggers' Nosferatu is the latest release of gothic horror which seems to be marking its revival as a movie genre. Bleeding walls, whispering winds, flickering candles, and seemingly endless chord. Gothic horror is a genre soaked in atmosphere. Born in the late 18th century, its main themes encompass those of obsession, grief, and madness, and often trap its characters in settings just to twist their thoughts. From Mary Shelley's lab abomination to Dracula's cursed immortality, the human soul in crisis has been the main theme, but no writer was able to capture its essence quite like Edgar Allan Poe. Poe didn't just write gothic horror, he refined it, and he stripped it down to its beating heart. The Raven is one of Poe's most famous stories. It revolves around a grieving man who is visited by a mysterious bird that speaks only one word.
Quoth the Raven, Nevermore.
What begins as curiosity soon spirals into despair and the inescapable weight of grief, as the man is finally forced to face the loss of his dear Lenore. In A Telltale Heart, Poe invites the reader into the mind of a murderer who insists upon his sanity. Early on, the narrator praises his illness for having given him heightened senses. After murdering the old man with whom he lived, 2 police officers are called to his house as a neighbor hears a commotion. Soon the heartbeat of his victim is heard very quietly. But as the officers keep talking, the heartbeat becomes louder, his conscience eating him whole, until the beat is intolerable and the narrator gives himself in. Poe does not rely on gore for this story. Instead, he displays how fast guilt can destroy a person. Even his lesser-known tales, The Black Cat, The Casco of Amontillado, The Mask of the Red Death, each offer a different aspect of horror. Addiction, the thrill of revenge, the inevitability of death, no monster needed, just the darkness we all carry inside. A story I did not mention previously is Murders in the Rue Morgue, which Poe wrote in 1841. This story is constantly revered as the first modern detective story, a whole 46 years before the first Sherlock Holmes story was ever published. That is how ahead of his time Poe was. His writing, though not recognized during his life, became the footprint for many artists to come. Most notably H.P. Lovecraft with his cosmic horror, Shirley Jackson's suspenseful and horrifying stories, and most recently, with Stephen King's publishings. But Poe's shadow does not end on the page. His influence extends far from it, in fact. His stories have inspired and been integrated into many TV shows and songs as well. The episode called Comfort of the show Criminal Minds is riddled with references to many of Poe's stories, most notably The Fall of the House of Usher. There have also been numerous adaptations of his works, most recently in 2023 with Netflix's adaptation of The Fall of the House of Usher. Furthermore, many musical projects have referenced or been directly influenced by Poe's works, the most famous of which being Lana Del Rey, whose thematic obsessions with death, doomed romance, and the style of old Americana often echo Poe's romanticism and melancholy. Some more include Omnium Gatherum, which is a death metal band that references Poe's The Pit and the Pendulum in their song titled The Pit. Alesana's album, The Emptiness, is a concept album that draws direct inspiration from Poe's storytelling style. As horror continues to dominate pop culture through mediocre slashers and whatever Blumhouse releases, the Gothic remains its poetic soul, a space where darkness is not just feared but understood. And at the heart of it all, Poe remains, whispering through our playlists, flickering in film, and echoing in the corners of classrooms all across America.
Show me how you do that trick, the one